Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Nitai, and now let's welcome my friend. Today's theme is time. Now, before we begin, let's sanitize our hands. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Now let's remember, every time we need to wear our masks and we must maintain our social distance. Today's lesson is the number 6 and time. Now let's turn to page 8. If we look at page 8, we will find there is number 6. And the instruction on top says, color in the 6. I would like to invite my friends to come and demonstrate for me how to color in number 6, starting from the top. Come, my friend. Start from the top. Yes. Well done. Thank you very much. Well done. Now let's carry on to the next part of the lesson on page 9. Let's look and see what is on page 9. We can see there is number 6. And on number 6, it shows us exactly how we are supposed to write number 6. But before we continue with writing, let's count the number of dots that we can see. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black dots, which represents number 6. Let's look at the apples at the bottom. Let's count the apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this time, I would like to invite my friend to take out 6 beads from the container and thread them into the shoelace. Well done. Now take the shoelace and thread the 6 beads into the shoelace. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done. We have our 6 beads in the shoelace. That was very well done, my friend. Now let's get back to our worksheet, page number 9. I'm going to demonstrate to you how we are supposed to form number 6. When we write number 6, we always start from the top, and we go down and round and curly the tummy. We do that once more. We start from the top, we go down and round and curly, and we close the gap. Let's do it once more. We start from the top, we go down, curly around its body, and we go just like that. Well done, boys and girls. That is how we form number 6. Now let's turn to page 10 of our booklet. The instruction that we have right on top of page 10 says, fill in the correct time and choose from the list below. We have all the time listed at the bottom, and it says there, what is the time? We should always remember, if we look at the worksheet, a clock has one long hand, and that long hand is called a minute hand. And we have a short hand, and that hand is called an hour hand. It tells us the number of hours. We are going to learn today about o'clock. How do we read o'clock? Whenever we read the time o'clock, the long hand, which is the minute hand, will be pointing at 12. I will show you on my clock on the board here. The long hand is pointing at 12, and that is the minute hand, and the short hand, which is the hour hand, is pointing at 8. So what time do you think it is? It is 8 o'clock. If I move the hand, the hour hand, what time do we see now? It's 9 o'clock. If I move it over to the next number, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Right, let's get back to our booklet on page 10. I would like you to complete the work on page 10. You need to fill in the correct time. The times are written right at the bottom of the worksheet. Let's do our work right now. As you have seen on the big clock on page 10, we now know how to show our clock. Let's move on. Let's turn to page 11 of our booklet. On page 11, the instruction reads, fill in the correct time under each clock. Telling the time is the title of the worksheet. The first clock, as I explained before, the long hand, which is the minute hand, is pointing at 12, and the hour hand, which is the shorter hand, is pointing at 3. So our time is 3 o'clock. And that answer has been completed for you. Now I would like you to complete the rest of the clocks by writing in the time. Now let's turn to page 12 of our booklet and look at the instructions right on top of the page. The instructions reads, count the cakes on the plates and fill in the correct number in the blocks. Now, before we count and fill in the number, remember in our previous page, we practiced how to write the number 6. We need to join the dots of all the numbers that we see on top and continue writing until the end of the page. Once we are done, let's count and find out how many cookies or how many cakes did the queen bake today. We have to count. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in the block below the picture of the cookies, we need to write number 6. Now continue counting the rest and write number 6 wherever you find 6 cookies on the plate. When you are done, we need to move to the next activity just below the line on the same page, on page 12. And the instruction reads, copy the pattern. We have 6 dots in the first block, and in the second block it's empty. So we need to copy the pattern. So we will skip the second block to leave it empty and make 6 dots in the third block. And then we look back to the first picture of the dots. We have our 6 dots now. What do we do in the next block? The next block should be empty so that the pattern is exactly the same as the one we did before. Now the next dots, in the next block we have, let's count together and see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 dots in this block. So we need to copy in the next block 5 dots and copy the pattern as it is. And the last one is easy. You need to complete it on your own. Now let's look right at the bottom of the worksheet. It says, fill in the missing number. Let's go to my board. I have a number line on my board. Let's see if we remember how to count. When we count, we always count starting from the left. Left. Let's count the first number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is how we count. Let's go back to our activity in the booklet on page 12. At the bottom of page 12, now we need to fill in the missing number between 5 and 7. Well done. I'm sure you have figured it out. Now let's move on to page 13 of our booklet, page 13, it says counting. I will just tell you a very short little story. On the farm, there's a little dog called Bingo. Bingo likes to play with chicks on the farm. He is a very naughty dog. He likes chasing the chicks around. Now, what you need to do, you need to count how many chicks are ever playing with Bingo. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many chicks did we find? 6 chicks. Now, may you please write the number 6 in the block right at the bottom of page 13. Well done. Thank you for today's lesson. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves. Now let's sanitize our hands. And our little song, rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Now remember, boys and girls, to maintain your social distance and to always wear your mask before you go out. I wonder, where is Zoshi? It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, Zoshi.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoshi. I'm back. And you can always stay active throughout the lockdown. You can play with your friends, but keep your distance. Like me and my friend. Yay! And you can also jog and sing to be active. Until next time, bye!
free airtime with One Africa TV. Share your comments on the channel. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
On the Gold Coast of West Africa lies the peaceful and diverse nation of Ghana. I'm pretty close right now to the geographical center of the earth. It is also one of the last pockets for elephants in the wilds of West Africa.
Every country in the world just about has cattle, sheep, goats, horses, donkeys, but it's only Africa that has the real megafauna, the charismatic stuff which people in the rest of the world want to see.
The passion that the staff have for the job
is value to a bird, which brings birders to a place like this. I mean, this is a birding paradise. We see an intrinsic appreciation and joy from seeing the wildlife out here, but not everybody does.
You can't get to Moli and then will not be passionate about what we do, because you'll be the only one left. Everybody is passionate.
The only worthwhile war, the war against destruction, the war against loss, the war for peace, for balance, for inclusion.
It is out of my way. Buffaloes, elephants, tigers, are still in existence.
If Mole fails, then Ghana is without wildlife.
Join me as we journey to the untamed wilderness of northern Ghana to meet these last defenders.
The people within the law enforcement agencies don't really know you're talking about a roan antelope. Somebody thinks it's just like a goat.
Hello and welcome to Turning Point International. We have taken over London.
For 10 years I did it and I got burnt out.
Over time, eBay developed an addictive personality to escape depression.
There's some people, they take medication and it actually doesn't work for them.
Win free airtime with hashtag #LearnOnOne. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. Hashtag #LearnOnOne. Invite learning in.
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalized for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oximeter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause brain problems that lead to strokes. The immune system overreacting can cause clots that stop the blood supply to parts of the brain. Brain inflammation, psychosis, and dementia-like symptoms can also affect seriously ill patients. The average length of the illness is 14 days, but many people have symptoms for much longer. Breathing problems and post-viral fatigue last for months in some cases.
I cannot walk for long simply because I will feel a little bit short of breath and I feel the need to sit down. And that's something that has never happened to me before.
Some of the people who are most likely to develop severe symptoms are older adults and those with underlying health conditions. It's not fully known how anyone will react to COVID-19 until they get it. So it's important for everyone to follow health guidance. What precautions are you taking to stay safe?
I'm feeling so bad because of I have been arrested. We are trying to sell to provide our kids with food, but the police, they come to arrest us.
I was literally apprehended in Independence Avenue. I mean, there was no prior communications with the police or with Bonn or Benga Namibia. These guys literally just apprehended us on surprise.
And when you are talking in a manner that is exaggerated about brutality in this country, I should ask you in which country you live.
Yes, I can confirm that